Nachiketa was filled with the trust and sincerity. He started thinking that to donate such useless cows was not right. The person who donates these nearly dead cows, almost they have been dragged, they are not coming, they are not ready to come. They have been beaten and nicely dragged to the Yajnasala, where the fire ritual is done. They are not moving, but they have been beaten and brought, and just the rope is handed over. They cannot even move. The rope is handed over to the Brahmins. Person who donates these nearly dead cows will surely go to hell, the lower dimension of existence, where there is no possibility for happiness and joy. He thought, I must discourage my father from doing such a thing. See, 7-year-old boy. Why is called 7-year-old boy? No. Till the age of 7, your intelligence is straight. You are not conditioned by the society. You think straight. You are not conditioned. You know the shortest gap between 2 points is straight line. Shortest gap between 2 points is straight line. You think only in a straight way. I always tell you, thinking in a wrong way is complicating the whole life. Thinking in a crooked way, complicating your whole life. If you think one sentence or one statement, to hide that crookedness, you have to again and again make more and more. One lie you have to hide by using thousands of lies. And here, 7-year-old boy, he thinks only straight way. He thinks, this type of cows, if they are donated, what will happen to my father? He will reach only the Naraka, hell. So he wants to discourage the father. Understand, never think children are foolish, fools, or children doesn't know anything. Children are more intelligent than you are, because they think straight. Children can never be cheated. You can cheat elders very easily, because they also think like you. But you can never cheat the kids. Small story. One 7-year-old boy, he was standing outside the bathroom. The father was standing inside the bathroom and shaving. He is around 40, but he doesn't want to show himself as a 40. He was dyeing his hair. The great difficulty in the dyeing is you should not go in the rain. If you go, the white will come, white will become black and black will become white. Just the color change will happen. If you dye, be aware, don't go in the rain, because the color change. The white, the black will come to white, white will go to black. Anyhow, the guy was dyeing his hair. The small son, he was not able to understand why the father's hair has become white. He went near and asked, Papa, why your hair has become white? The guy could have answered directly, I became old, this is the way it happens. He doesn't want to tell. And not only that, he wants to teach some morality to a child, to the kid. He said, if you tell one lie, my one hair will become black, become white, so be careful. Immediately the child asked, Papa, why all grandfather's hairs are white? All his hair is white. You think in one way, but the child is thinking the other way. You think you want to teach some lesson to him. Immediately what he thinks. So never think kids are fools. They are more intelligent. They are more straight. They are more worthy of truth. So he decided. Here the Nachiketa was filled with trust and sincerity. Shraddha Vivecha. He was possessed by Shraddha. And he thinks, I must discourage my father from doing such a thing. Nachiketa then asked his father, and to whom will you give me as a gift? Nachiketa now, someone wants to stop the father. But after all, he is the son, he cannot do anything. So he went and asked the father, Father, according to the Yaga, you are supposed to give all the things. To whom are you going to give me? I am also your property. In those days, the wife and the son is considered as a property. Before the age of 14, the wife and the son, wife is property throughout the life. Till till the age of 14, son is also a property. He is not considered as an individual being. So, to whom will you give me as a gift? It's actually poking the father. He is not asking whom will you give. He is actually trying to question him. He is trying to make father understand. Don't do this type of things. He cannot say directly, so he is trying to say indirectly. Nachiketa then asked his father, to whom will you give me as a gift? Uddalaka remained silent. When asked the same question and second and third time, his father became angry. Again he is asking, Father, whom will you give me as a gift? Uddalaka remained silent. He understood. He is also an intelligent guy. What his son is meaning. He understood. His son is not asking, to whom you will give me as a gift. His son is asking, what are you doing? What nonsense you are doing? He understood that. But he doesn't want to reply. He is keeping quiet. Again the son is asking, Father, to whom will you give me as a gift? You can visualize a small boy pulling the hair of the cloth of the father and calling him, Father, to whom will you give me as a gift? When the second time, third time it is asked, father became angry and said, I give you to death. Let you die. He understood what son is asking. The son is hurting the ego of the father. But the father does not want to accept his fault. He just wants to prove his ego. And he says, let you die. I give you unto death. Hearing this, Nachiketa started thinking within himself. You see, any other son means what would I have told? Why should I die? Let you die. I have not yet lived. You have lived enough. Get out. That is what any other son would have told. But he is not the ordinary son. He is possessed with a Shraddha. Hearing this, Nachiketa started thinking within himself. About most things, I have followed the highest conduct. About some things, I may be a little remiss, but I have never fallen to any bad behavior. So why does father say that he give me to death? See, understand, a man with sincerity never finds fault with others. He always finds fault with himself. Man without sincerity, he always finds fault with others. Here is a guy with so much of sincerity, he is not even able to think that his father is angry, his father is cursing him, his father is doing something wrong. He is thinking, what did I do wrong? Why did father say these things? He is not even asking why the father has done wrong. He is asking what wrong I have done. Sincerity always looks subjectively. Insincerity always looks objectively. Here he says, why does father say that he give me to death? What could be the work of Yama, the Lord of death, that my father wants to accomplish through me? He thinks, I lived a proper life till this age. I behaved totally properly. Then why my father is telling me to go to death? Maybe that I should do some service for Yama. Maybe is it that Yama needs something to be done by me? The way of sincere mind thinks. If you understand this one story, that is enough. The whole Upanishad is nothing else but this story. This story is the whole thing, whole gist of the Upanishad. The sincere mind always thinks what mistake I have done. It never thinks what way he is done mistake. I have always seen sincere disciples. They always think whatever Swami says, there is something truth in it. Something he wants to teach. Somewhere he is touching us. But insincere people, even if I praise them, what they think? Oh, Swami has got some reason to praise me. Insincere people, even if you praise them, it is danger for you. Because they will start calculating. I think Swami has got some calculation. That is why he is praising me. Sincere people, even if you scold them, even if you fire them, they think, no, there is something Swami wants to teach me. That is the reason he is doing. The sincere people look at themselves. The insincere people, they have their own way of thinking. And I tell you, the cunning fellow can never trust others. Cunning fellow can never trust others because he will be thinking, like me only, he will also calculate. Then how can I trust him? You judge everybody in your own weighing scale. There's a beautiful saying in Quran. If a donkey looks at the mirror, what it will see? What it will see? Donkey only. So cunning fellow will see only cunning people. Once Krishna called the Duryodhana and Dharmaraja, told Dharmaraja, go and bring at least one bad person. Told Duryodhana, go and bring at least one good person. Both came empty-handed. Dharma said, I could not see any bad person on the planet Earth. Everyone has got some good quality. Duryodhana said, I can't find even a single person good fellow. Everybody has got bad quality. So it is your way of looking, you see the whole world. Sincere person looks always into himself. Nachiketa said to his father, consider how your forefathers behaved and how otherwise people now behave, then decide what is right thing for you to do. Now Nachiketa decided anyhow he is going to do that. He is going to go to the Yama. He is going to die. So at last he want to tell, at least let me tell this one word to my father and go, so that I will not feel guilty that I have not told my father. He says, consider how your forefathers behaved and how otherwise people now behave, then decide what is right thing for you to do. Like the crabs, mortal man ripens, withers, and then is born again. So in this transitory life, man should not waver from goodness and engage in wrong actions. Do not be sad, father. I honor your word now and allow me to go to Yama, the Lord of Death. See the matured words of this Nachiketa. Only in India you can create this type of even imaginations. We do not know whether Nachiketa lived or not. But one thing is sure, such a beautiful visualization, such a beautiful character being created. Even this type of character visualization, thousands of years ago, only rishis can do. He says, like the crabs, mortal man ripens, withers, and then is born again. Like the crabs in the field, they ripe, wither away, again born, ripe, wither away. It's like a circle, just like that. Like a same way, just like a crabs. In this transitory life means you just come and go. A small story. Vyas is having a ashram in Badri. He never built an ashram. He stayed only in the cave. But Sukabrahma built a beautiful ashram. Sukabrahma is the son of the Vyasa. And Vyasa is supposed to have more years of life than Sukabrahma. Somebody went and asked Vyasa, oh Lord, why are you not building any ashram? You are staying in an ordinary cave. In Badri. In Badri only used to stay. You are staying in a cave. Vyas said, no, in such a short life, where is the time for me to build ashram? The moment Sukabrahma heard this, he destroyed all his ashram and escaped to forest and started meditating and became enlightened. Actually, Sukabrahma was engaged in making an ashram and all these things. An ordinary activity. So Vyas wants to teach lesson to Sukabrahma. In front of Sukabrahma, somebody went and asked Vyasa, oh Lord, why are you not creating ashram? He said, I have such a short life. Where is the time for me to waste it in building ashram? Then immediately Sukha realized, like a shock Sukabrahma felt. My life is only half of the life of the Vyasa. If he cannot spend his life on building ashram, how can I waste it? Let me escape and do the tapasya. Same way, understand, it's a transitory life. Man should not waver from goodness and engage in wrong actions. After all our life is nothing but transitory. Understand, maximum how long you will live? 100 years. Maximum 100 years. After that, just for the sake of 100 years, do you think you can do anything and everything? No. Just for the sake of this transitory life, man should not waver from goodness and engage in wrong actions. This advice he gave. Then he says, Father, do not be sad. And now I am honoring your word and going to Yamadharma. Allow me, give me permission. Let me go to the Lord of Death. When he heard these words from his son, Uddalaka became very sad. Because the people who are in anger, they don't have intelligence. Tamil proverb is Rathira Karanakku Buddhi Mattu. When you become full of anger, your intelligence stops working. Anger and madness is one and the same. Part-time madness is anger, full-time anger is madness. If you are doing a part-time duty, you are called man with anger. If you are doing full-time job, then mad. So Uddalaka became very sad, feeling guilty. He says, he feels that he has done something wrong. He wants to stop the son. But Nachiketa is very strong. Nachiketa is strong. He wants to go to Yama's place. When he heard these words from his son, Uddalaka became very sad. But feeling Nachiketa's dedication to the truth, he allowed him to go to Yama. He said, all right, you are so dedicated, so truthful. I may not have found the truth because I am not truthful guy. Because of your truth, I know you will find the truth. Go. He felt deep guilt. I have not found the truth because I am not truthful. At least you will find the truth because you are truthful. He blesses the Nachiketa and sends him to go to Yama.